You may want to know that I agree with Senator Sifuna on the issue of the principle that a court of law cannot injunct the Senate in its proceedings. I hold that view, and maybe it's a minority view, because I think the Speaker holds a different view. That's why the chair said, there is a court order, let us wait for it. And in my submissions in the House, I said as much. I said a court cannot injunct Parliament in its business. When we finish our business, if the law we passed is bad, if what we did was so bad, then someone can go to the Constitutional Court and say that law is bad and it will be struck out. But when we are doing that law, it is our space. And I truly believe that the Senate cannot be injuncted. So as far as I'm concerned, we are not breaking the law if we ignore the tribunal's order. That's my take. Okay. And I said that much in the state, in the House, in the Senate, and I still believe it. And anywhere, I will defend it, because we have authorities on that side of the argument. Although they can also cite other authorities on the other side. But for me, you know, in law, you take a side. And for me, I believe it's the chamber is a sacred place. That's the place where I was taken by the people of Tana River. One person, you know, out of all the people to come and say their things. You know, 47 people out of all the 54 million Kenyans to say that you can't, as a court sitting there, you inject them. You say, no, you can't say what you are supposed to be saying. That is playing with power, and you are coming to our area. Yeah. When you are supposed to be in that area of interpretation of the law, because that's where judiciary is. Interpret the law. You don't inject us. You don't inject us. It's just like you can't take the president to court when he's executing. Correct. So the separation of powers must be respected. Okay. So for me, I hold that view. So where I sit, I think that problem should have been resolved without any issues. If we had ignored the court order, not even ignored, if we had not accepted the court order. So, but while I agree with Honorable Senator Sifuna, he must also agree with me that they are wrong. It is just wrong to walk out of Parliament when we are supposed to be voting, you know, to be voting on the budget policy statement, which has a timeline. We are supposed to be voting on the debt management policy, the midterm debt management policy that we passed, which has a timeline. We are supposed to vote on my bill. There's a bill on the Powers and Privileges Act, which I brought. It went through the second reading, and very many senators supported it, because we were expanding the powers of the Senate to execute the mandate we were given by the people. So we are supposed to vote on it. It's wrong for them to walk out. Irrespective of our political issues and whatever, it is just wrong. So he must agree with me that that is wrong. He must also agree with me that when we come there, the minority will have their say, the majority will have their way. That is the rule of democracy. It is not right to say every time I lose a motion in the Senate, I should go back to the people of Tana River and say, oh, you know, you are the sovereign power, so let us, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's not right, because how many times then shall we go in these 5 years? For me, I think that is a position, it should be a structured way to make your opposition views known, not to go and bring people who should be earning their living, and bring them out of their day-to-day activities into your politics. I think it is unfair. It's really unfair from where I sit. Okay. Now, on the IEBC issue, I submitted in the House, and I still say here, Trevor, that if we fix the systems properly, you know, that, you know, we are looking at, this is IBC. We have confidence, I have confidence that if I lost my election, the systems are so good that I will accept it. Yeah. That even if my brother was seated there, not even my brother, even if my wife was seated as the chair, she would not be able to help me, because the systems are so well fixed. I think that's the conversation we should have. And when I was submitting on the floor of the House, I said, let us shift the focus from personalities. Because, you know, you can fix the system so well, and it is devoid of human interference. So that Sifuna here and myself, we're able to go to that system and satisfy ourselves that there is no way that I will lose an election here and make a complaint. Okay. That is my belief. And I think if we can have that intellectual argument now, and within the space of time between now and the 5 years to come, for the next general election, I will be so happy to engage in that. But for me, that public service, we should have nominated, you know, people from my party or the other party. For me, I think we are losing the focus there. Because even if, let's say, Sifuna was in my party and I nominated him, and he's sitting there, what prevents William Kisang there from buying Sifuna when he's there and doing his bidding? You get, because once they are there, once they are there, they become independent, and they can be manipulated. So making a political issue out of nothing, for me, is really bad. It's in bad taste. And you know, this is what I pray in this politics we are going to move away from. Let's fix the issue. Me, I want Sifuna to come and tell me, look, you guys, Bana, you are thieves. You fix this system. You've done this procurement in a way that you are favoring yourselves to win. And then I'll tell him, no, we'll show it out. And then we talk about that. You know, we talk about the system. And then even if Sifuna says, I want my brother to be the chairman, I have no problem. Just be the chairman. I would have no problem whatsoever, because I know he wouldn't favor him. Even if we ran for arrest in Nairobi, the systems are such that they are at least we have the faith in them. And for me, that is where the debate should be, not personalities. Because the moment we bring personalities, it becomes ugly, it becomes unintellectual, it becomes personal, it becomes, this is that. And I think we should move the debate to a higher level, especially at the Senate, because that's where reasonable people stay.
All right.